Is National about to do a deal, pull out of the race for the Island electorate and get the Opportunities Party into Parliament? Electorate deals aren't new. National's done them with United Future and ACT before, so is it on the cards this time round? National leader Christopher Luxon joins us this morning from Ōtautahi, Christchurch. Good morning.
Good morning, Laura. How are you today?
I'm well. Are you going to do a deal with Raf Manji?
We're doing no deals with any political parties across New Zealand this election. We've got a fantastic candidate here in Ireland, Hamish Campbell, who's doing a brilliant job. And frankly, a vote for TOP or any other minor party is a vote for Labour and more of the same of New Zealand going backwards. And so it's all about party vote national. That's what we want New Zealanders to understand.
Wouldn't you prefer to work with Raf over Winston Peters, though?
As I said, we're not doing deals with any political party. That's a choice for the New Zealand people to determine how they exercise their party vote, and as a result, what results we get on election night. And as I've been saying now for months, is a vote for any other party, TOP or any other minor party, is frankly a vote for Labour, wealth tax, and more going backwards. And that's just not what we're up for. And I think New Zealanders understand they need change. They've actually got to step up to the plate and actually vote for change, and that means party vote national.
Have you talked to Raf about this, or has he tried to call you to do a deal?
Our team have made it very clear to him months ago that actually that is not on the table. It's not something that we're even interested in.
So he tried months ago to try and do this?
Yeah, and frankly, it's just not going to happen. We are not doing deals with any political party across New Zealand. The message is really simple. If you want change, if you think the country's heading in the wrong direction, you may need to be an undecided voter. You may never have voted for National before, but actually National's going to govern for all New Zealanders.
No deals this election. OK, the press debate, it obviously didn't happen last night. Are you up for something next week, or have you completely ruled that out?
Look, I mean, the reality here is that the Prime Minister got COVID. The debate couldn't go ahead. We tried to look at our schedule, but as you know, in 10 days to go into the election campaign, it's pretty locked down. There's a lot of places for us to visit. I know I'm bouncing all over the country between now and the election in 10 days' time.
Chris Hipkins said you're going to be in Christchurch. Chris Hipkins said you're going to be in Christchurch next Monday, so you could do it then.
We are all over the place. We've got trips to Northland, we've got trips to New Plymouth, we've got trips to Blenheim, we've got trips to Whanganui. So,
if you return to Christchurch,
Laura, is at the end of the day,
if you return there, would you be up for a debate?
We've got a great debate opportunity happening next week. It's the last of the debates. That'll be viewed by lots of people, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I'd just say to you, look, if Chris Hipkins is wanting to debate someone who's got a completely different position from him, all he needs to do is jump on a Zoom and have a debate with Ingrid Leary and David Parker about the wealth tax that they're proposing.
Right. OK, let's talk about your better health outcomes, which you released yesterday. In it, you've got quite a few points on how to get the health system back on track. You say in your first 100 days you want to make some changes to the healthcare system. What changes will you make in that first 100 days?
Well, what we've said consistently is we're going to increase the healthcare budget each and every year. We know there's massive cost pressures in the system going forward for the next few years, and we're going to continue to support all of that and make sure we get good growth in funding. We're going to move the money from the back office to the frontline services. We're going to put targets back in place, and we're going to grow the workforce. But yesterday what we announced was that we're also going to fund continuous glucose monitoring for type 1 diabetes for children under the age of 18. We also announced that we want to have 3-day stays for new mums in hospital and make sure that they stay there, or they've got an opportunity.
Do we have the beds for that?
We're going to fund that. Well, we have the funding in place to make sure that wherever a mum is choosing to have her baby, that actually she has a right to stay there up until 72 hours or 3 days.
Currently, it's an entitlement
up to 2 days. That's where we want to get going with it quickly, but in our 100-day plan, we've announced that on the weekend. We've got a lot of things on our plate to get through. And the third thing, Laura, which I did want to talk about was, we are also going to increase the amount of psychiatrists and psychologists that we train in this country, and so putting some investment and funding into that, because particularly for young people who are trying to get internships, say in psychology, that's been a real challenge and a real difficulty to actually get them trained and set up to go. So those are the three new things that we announced yesterday as part of our overall health manifesto.
For a voter at home right now who may be pregnant, when they have their baby in however many months' time, however far along they are, will they be able to stay in hospital for 3 days if you are elected in?
Yes. Yeah, we want them to be able to stay there for 3 days, for 72 hours. Today it's 48 hours, 2 days, and as you know, Laura, many women actually don't know that that's their entitlement. that'll be made very clear to them to make sure that they can actually do that, and they can do it in a place of wherever they choose to have their baby.
Right, so there we are. If you're pregnant now, you've got 3 days in hospital if National get in. Right, I want to talk to you about this, your vape policies here. You've said in here that you want to ban vape products from being visible from the street. What does that mean?
Well, it's consistent with actually some of the direction the government's announced as well, which is that we want to make the stores less visible so that it's not as enticing or as attractive for young people to go to. Yeah, correct. Just actually have a low presence on the street of those actual stores rather than advertising very strongly who they are. So just putting some constraints and some limits around it. As I've said before, I am quite concerned about where we are with our vape settings. What we're doing here is hardening them up and we're strengthening them. But frankly, if they haven't worked over the next 18 months, then we should look to go even further again. But let's see how these go. Let's hope that this does actually work. And we want to put full
This banning vape products from being visible from the street is just for shops. You can still walk down the road and vape if you're a vaper.
Sorry, no, this is about the storefront and making sure that the products are less visible to people on the street. The store is less visible on the street. It's consistent with what the government has announced as well. And as I said, these are just settings to try and harden up and strengthen our vape laws and make it tougher. But let's see how they go to actually deal with the challenge that we've got, which is avoiding our young people getting hooked up on nicotine and having to deal with that for the next few decades as a health issue from here. So let's see how these go. Let's get these implemented quickly, and if after 18 months, if we need to go further, let's do that too.
Hey Chris, it's Ryan here. Nice to have you on the show. At the start of this interview, you said that a vote for TOP or any other minor party is a vote for Labour. Is that true? I mean, if you're voting for ACT or for New Zealand First, you're voting for a change of government too, aren't you?
Well, my message is if you want a guaranteed change of government, what you need is to vote National. You know, that is the thing that I really want people to understand.
But saying that a vote for TOP or a vote for any other minor party being a vote for Labour is not true, is it?
Well, what I mean is my preference is I want everyone voting for the National Party,
right.
you know, and I think we've got the policies and the ideas to take it forward. And what I mean by that is if, people of Ireland are watching this, they have a great candidate in Hamish Campbell. We want them party voting National, and anything else is really, not going to help guarantee a change of government, and that's what I think most New Zealanders want to see happen.
All right, thanks very much for that, Chris. That's National leader Christopher Luxon with us in Christchurch this morning.